Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian, and happy Friday to all of you guys here. It's Bachelor Nation News. The old Katie's dead. Ding dong. The old Katie's dead. The old Katie's dead. The new Katie's alive. We're going to talk about this. Read her statement and hear what she has to say. After several months of being, on the naughty list with some people in Bachelor Nation, she said, hey, your opinion of me is none of my business. All right, folks, so we'll get into that video, and then I've got a Dave Neal show. I've got the Dave Neal show. There it is, folks, the Dave Neal show. This is week 2 of the Dave Neal show. You guys got me 2,300 plus subscribers. We're halfway to being monetized, and we'll get into that video next on the Dave Neal show covering the FBI saying that Brian Laundrie's notebook included him claiming responsibility for Gabby Petito's death. So that'll be a heavy topic to discuss on the Dave Neal show, but we don't shy away from that. It's a topic that's been all over the news this past year, and they're finding more information out as we speak. After you watch this video, head over to the Dave Neal show to get the update on that story. All right, let's get into it. Now, we've got a statement out of the blue Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, not that this is the case here, but Friday afternoon is the time when people like to dump their stories when they don't want people to gain traction, because heading into a holiday weekend or some other, the day before the Super Bowl, if you have a story you don't want people to know much about, just throw it out there. But I don't think that's the case here. Katie Thurston on a Friday afternoon blows kisses to her haters, maybe, or to her love. What does that say? What does that say down there? Hup? What does that say? H-U-P? I can't really read that. Anyone else? Hop? Maybe it says hop. Either way. The clues are everywhere, folks. Speaking of clues, let's get into it. All right. Katie Thurston, here's what she had to say. To those who continue to show kindness, thank you. Last year somehow felt like 3 years of highs and lows. I remember a producer texting me saying, the old Katie is dead and the new Katie will rise from the ashes. He was right about one thing. The old Katie did in fact die. But I was not some girl on fire. If anything, the sparks I once felt for life were doused with the judgment and criticism of not only strangers, but even ones I worked closely with. I was drowning in my tears, unable to even recognize the girl in the mirror. Was the old me really gone? I started taking antidepressants for the first time before my season aired. I thought I knew what to expect. I didn't. I thought I was strong enough to handle the negativity. I wasn't. But they say that time heals everything. As time went on, I was quick to block the hate. And I don't mean mentally, I mean in the most literal sense. Unfollow accounts that encouraged it, limit my screen time usage with a password only John knew. Anything I could do to bring myself out of a dark place. Surround yourself by those who love and support you. And for those complete strangers who write positive DMs and comments, I want you to know I see them, I feel them, and there were times I even needed them. So thank you. If you're reading this and you ever said something mean to a stranger online, I hope you reflect for a moment and reconsider hitting send next time. At the end of the day, we are all just people trying to coexist on this earth and make the best of our short lives. You'd be amazed on the impact putting positivity into the universe will have on your own life. Stay kind. What I love about this statement is it doesn't rail against the haters. It just says, hey, look, if you do throw hate out there, double think that. And now a lot of times they say sticks and, they say, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. But people don't really realize how their negative comments can affect others until it's been done to them. So as much as I hate to say an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, until we can really understand what it's like to either be canceled or be ostracized, which is one of the worst things you can do to someone's psyche, right? Ostracizing somebody from a community or saying, or, just the erosion over time that strangers can give to other strangers. It's not productive. It doesn't teach people lessons. None of that stuff's true. So the best thing you can do if you don't like someone online is unfollow them. The best thing you can do. I have this one person who comments on my page. Her name's Ula, U-L-A. Her name's Ula. She could be a real person. She could be a troll. She could be a fake name. I have no idea who this person is, right? She sends me a negative comment on every video I make. And I just think, I can't believe you're letting my toxic channel into your life, hating me so much, and yet you just watch it over and consume this so much. Life's too short. Do what it is that you love in life. Be who you want to be. Attract the people you want to be a part of. But if you live in a world full of chaos, and if you live in a Like they always say, the way when you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. And with that said, with the laws of attraction, if you don't like, if you have negative friends and negative things around you, you're a product of that community vicariously. You cannot help but being a part of it. For Katie to realize that, to, sort of dance with the devil, realize all the negative places and just start unfollowing them, but also knowing you shouldn't have to say no to your social media. You shouldn't have to delete your account. It's smart sometimes, like an alcoholic, goes to, an AA program and might say, I cannot even access this. I cannot have one sip. I am an alcoholic. For them, they realize they can't manage it all. But with social media, you can, in most cases, manage what you allow to be consumed in your life, in learning healthy boundaries and learning what's right, what's wrong, and what you're willing to withstand. Katie's a good example because I'll read. Here's what I said to her is, you're a great example of doing all the right social media things, friendly with Reddit, etc., and it wasn't enough to feed the beast. So Katie was sex positive, authentic. She brought her humor to the channel. She did all these things. She communicated with fans back and forth. And even with all that, the collective, as they built up this sandcastle, still wanted to knock it down, because that's just what happens with the internet, okay? You become so big, people no longer want to see you as a fellow, whatever. They want to knock you down to their level. They want to pull you out of your life raft to their struggle. And that's just the way it works. And I don't mean that from a pessimistic or even a realistic place. The world that you create around you is really your doing. The lot that you were given in life, that's just the hand you start with. You can keep reshuffling the deck. Now, I know there are people in situations where they live in a food desert. They're so broke they can't get a car to go drive to a job. They live there's so many situations that are out of people's control. But with the social media, if you're going to be on it, you can control who you let yourself follow and be around. Very interesting to have another fellow queen of the Bachelorette world, Tayshia, posted this today. Kind of reiterating the same thing. Hi, miss y'all. Had a crazy busy week, but so happy to be back home in New York City for a bit. I'll get better at taking you along for the day-to-day activities because I worked on some fun projects this week that I think you would be so proud of me for. But also, as some of you may know, I have been going through some personal highs and lows, and I've needed to take time to myself to process those as well. I only say that to remind you we're all human, and that although social media portrays the perfect day-to-day, no one is exempt from the roller coaster of life. So do what's right for you to keep your headspace right, but also remember it doesn't cost a thing to be kind, uplifting on this platform. How true is that? How true is that? We'll read a couple of the comments on Reddit. As promised, I'm going to blur them out. So here's a few things that people said on Reddit. Let's filter by the best. And I think as a collective, Reddit, there are good people on Reddit, but I think it's like a playground where there are some parts of the playground you like. You play kickball, you like the swing set, and then there's a kid in the corner of the playground who's throwing rocks at everybody. That's Reddit, right? Someone said, one thing I never understood is people who send hateful DMs to people. Like, criticize people all you want on posts or discussion forums, but actively messaging people and talking shit to them, who honestly has time for that? I'll punch back that even the anonymous message boards are also so low energy. And look, people can do whatever they want with their time, but I always tell people, if you have this much time and energy to be ranting about people, like, look, let's be honest, we push, and this isn't coming from a place of entitlement. We push for difficult conversations, finding the good in what other people's intentions were. Not necessarily their outcomes, but their intentions. Knowing people are trying their best, even if we don't know how to believe it, but finding that grace. That's really hard. It's really hard. It takes a lot more work to find grace in a situation you don't want to find it in than it does to let your reptilian brain go, bad, evil, unfollow. Someone said, it really blows my mind that people feel okay doing that. I'd be so embarrassed sending an influencer hate. So of course, sending an influencer hate all day long is ridiculous. But I also think it's a waste of all of our time to be online gossiping about others. Again, I make content here. I get it. Towing a line, walking the balance beam. I get it. I just try for every slice of gossip that we do, we add a little bit of humanity to it. Just trying. Don't always succeed. Someone said, I'm glad she was transparent about antidepressants. Everyone should feel allowed to ask for help in whatever form they need, no stigma. Now let's go to this thumbnail that I had. Let me see if I can pull it up here from Katie. I don't know if this was in my original thumbnail here, but someone had texted me this interesting thing. Now hold on a second here, pulling it up live on the fly. Someone had texted me this interesting text right here, because I get these all the time. Did you see Katie Thurston's recent post? Wow. I had no idea she struggled so much because she comes off like she doesn't give a fudge. Glad I've always loved her and sent her support. And that's what it is, folks. Some of the people in our lives that hurt the most are the ones that that don't show it, that look like they just shed all the hate. It adds up. No one's immune to the bullying, to the online, either microaggressions or all the different factors that contribute to someone's personal health. It used to be one thing to have to deal with a bully at school or at work, and now we're letting that person in for the ride. And we need to do a better job as society, realizing how we fix the problem by not feeding it, but also realizing how we don't need to put that food into our mouth. And I think that's what it all comes down to. I'd love to know what you guys have to say about all this. Just as a palate cleanser, let's go over to Reddit and see what Michelle Young had posted today. It looks like Michelle Young had a good evening last night. Let's ask you this question. Is this the face of somebody who had a little bit of a good time last night?
Good morning. Did I just go to bed 2 hours ago? I sure did. Do I look like a wet rat this morning? A cute one. Did I forget to brush my teeth before leaving the house? Yes, but it doesn't matter because I just did 2 hours ago. Is my eye going to be twitching because I'm so tired today? Uncontrollably. But did I wake up with a smile because I had the best fiance in the world? 100%. Absolutely. Have a good day. Ooh, golden hour. Have a good day.
So clearly Michelle kept up all night, folks. That's the breaking news there. Kept up all night. By the way, wouldn't it be funny to be like one of her students and be like, oh, Miss Michelle got lucky last night. They're going to wheel in the projector and we're going to watch a movie. Wasn't that always the best when your teacher would show up hungover and she's like, everyone put your head down and take a nap for 40 minutes. You're like, turn the lights off. Let's do it. We love school. All right, folks. Well, listen, if there's no other breaking news, this might be it for me this weekend. You might have some more content over the weekend. Go to Dave Neal Show and check out all the videos that are non-Bachelor related over there. And if there's no other breaking news and this is it, I just say everyone have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you guys later, buttheads. Bye now.